they sent out some nice Valentine's Day cards to the owners. Really putting pressure on them, guys. Good job. I have a question for some fans. If you are a new fan, let's put the old guard to the side. The 46,000 slows, let's just put them to the side. The new fans who came to this league, fans of this league. Caitlin Clark put them on. They came to the WNBA. Oh, this is pretty cool. You know what? I'll support this league. And then you see how the Players Association has been going about their business throughout.
Valentine's Day cards. That's what the WNBA Players Association sent to team owners during one of the most critical labor negotiations in league history. Not a counterproposal, not a detailed financial plan, actual Valentine's Day cards with "Roses Are Red" poems. And the reaction you just saw captures exactly how fans are processing this strategy. Because while the league is on the verge of its biggest opportunity in 27 years, the people negotiating on behalf of players are treating billion-dollar business discussions like a fourth-grade art project.
Subscribe to the channel. What leg do these players have to stand on? Seriously. A league that has been losing money for 30 years now? A league whose players have never had to pay for housing? A league whose players probably get free car rides? Free food. They need some furniture in their apartment that the league's funding. They give them a gift card. They go to IKEA. What leg do these players have to stand on? Since 2008, they haven't had 1 million viewed game until Caitlin Clark shows up. What league do they have to stand on? Reportedly losing $50 million a year? What leg do they have to stand on?
Let's establish some context here, because the numbers matter. The WNBA has reportedly lost $50 million annually for years. Since the league's founding in 1997, it has never turned a profit, not once. Players have never paid for housing during the season. They receive stipends for furniture, transportation is covered, meal allowances are provided. And now the owners have put forward a proposal that includes a $1.4 million maximum salary, $500,000 average salaries, and a $250,000 minimum. Those aren't insulting numbers for a league that's been subsidized for nearly 3 decades. But here's what the Players Association chose to do instead of negotiating. They posted inflatable balloons outside the NBA store in New York. They sent cryptic subtweets. They released emotionally charged statements to the media. And now Valentine's Day cards. While fans are begging for a deal to get done before the season starts, the union leadership is literally doing origami.
The Players Association comes out with some Valentine's Day cards. Roses are red, violets are blue. We'd love a proposal that values players too. 1.4 million max salaries not valuing players? Oh, that's news to me. $500,000 average salaries not valuing that's news to me. $250,000 for the minimum salary is not valuing play. That's news to me. All of this is news to me. More. This situationship has gone on for too long. If you guys think this situationship has gone on for too long, imagine how the owners feel. Funding.
Think about this from the owner's perspective for a second. You've been funding a league that loses money every single year. You've covered housing, travel, medical care, training facilities. You've absorbed decades of financial losses because you believed in the product. Then 2024 happens. Caitlin Clark arrives, and suddenly the WNBA gets its first million-viewer game since 2008. Attendance spikes. Merchandise sales explode. Sponsorship deals multiply. The league finally has mainstream momentum. And right at this critical moment, when you need to finalize a CBA to capitalize on this growth, the people across the negotiating table are posting Valentine's Day cards on Instagram instead of presenting counter-proposals. You're trying to conduct serious business negotiations, and they're responding with social media stunts. How do you take that seriously? How do you negotiate in good faith with people who treat billion-dollar discussions like a reality TV show?
Instead of negotiating, instead of coming up with ideas to present to the owners, you guys are playing arts and crafts on Valentine's Day? Do you really think the public is going to get behind this? Do you really think people with brains in between their ears that aren't part of the old 46,000 are going to get behind this and say, you know what? Look at all the players. Look at all that they're doing. You got to support the players. I mean, look at how they're behaving. They're so professional. This situationship has gone on for too long. I think the owners would agree. This has gone on for far too long. We want to make some money. Maybe it's time to make it official. What are we making official? If it's not a CBA deal, what are you talking about?
Now let's talk about the executive director leading these negotiations. Terry Carmichael Jackson took over the Players Association in 2016. She's a Harvard Law graduate. She's been involved in labor negotiations before. This isn't her first rodeo. And yet, under her leadership, the union's public-facing strategy has been remarkably juvenile. Subliminal Instagram posts, vague statements about valuing players without specific proposals, theatrical displays instead of substantive negotiation. The Valentine's Day card stunt reportedly went through multiple layers of approval. Player representatives saw it, union staff reviewed it, Carmichael Jackson presumably signed off on it. That means multiple educated adults looked at this idea and thought it was an effective negotiation tactic. They genuinely believed that posting "Roses Are Red" poems would pressure billionaire team owners into offering better terms. That's not strategy, that's embarrassment.
That is this. This is embarrassing. Seriously. This is embarrassing. These players, they probably have no shame, but like as a fan following this, part of me is embarrassed. Covering that, part of me is like, damn, this is kind of crazy. How sad. The Players Association and WNBA situationship continues. Check out some reactions here. The most unprofessional group of idiots I've ever witnessed in any professional sport. I thought they all had college degrees due to the graduation rule. I guess a degree doesn't indicate intelligence. Yeah, all African studies degrees. Let's be real. Sorry, I had to. Y'all set me up for that. You set me up for that, Plubilis. You set me up for that. Daisies are yellow.
Here's what makes this particularly frustrating for fans who actually want the league to succeed. The WNBA just experienced its best year in history. Average attendance in 2024 increased by 48% compared to 2023. The Indiana Fever sold out nearly every home game. Caitlin Clark's rookie season generated more media coverage than the previous 5 seasons combined. Merchandise sales broke records. The league secured new broadcast deals. Everything was pointing in the right direction, but all of that momentum requires a CBA to be in place. Free agency can't proceed without a collective bargaining agreement. The draft can't happen. Teams can't make roster decisions. Sponsors can't finalize partnerships. The entire operation is frozen while these negotiations drag on. And instead of working around the clock to get a deal done, the Players Association is posting Valentine's Day cards and acting like this is some kind of social justice movement instead of a business negotiation. The owners aren't asking players to take pay cuts. They're offering significant raises across the board. The proposal on the table would more than double many salaries. But the union keeps moving the goalposts, making vague demands about being valued without presenting concrete counterproposals.
CBA talks are still in the tank. Ball is in your court. Give them a counter, sign a deal, stop this nonsense back and forth online. These are 5-year-olds at the bargaining table. Is this a real league or a reality TV show? Stop playing. I want to buy my tickets already. Sign the line. See, this is why you got ghosted the last couple proposals. Who wants to negotiate with these kids? Kids. That's what we got to call. They're not adults. They're not grown women. They're kids. Who wants to negotiate with these emotional brats? Again, they've never made a profit. That's all that needs to be said here. For everybody saying, oh, pay them what you owe them. They've never made a profit. Pay them what you owe them. Realistically, the owners don't owe you ish.
And the fan reaction has been overwhelmingly negative. Go through the comments on any of these Players Association posts. It's not just the usual critics. It's people who genuinely support women's basketball saying this behavior is unprofessional and counterproductive. New fans who came to the league because of Caitlin Clark are watching this circus and questioning whether they want to invest their time and money in a league that operates this way. One comment captured it perfectly. The most unprofessional group of idiots I've ever witnessed in any professional sport. Another asked, is this a real league or a reality TV show? These aren't trolls. These are people who want the WNBA to succeed and are frustrated by the self-sabotage they're witnessing. The Players Association seems to think they're winning some kind of public relations battle. They're not. They're alienating the exact fan base they need to support the league's growth. Because casual fans don't care about labor disputes. They just want to watch basketball. And when the season gets delayed because the union is too busy making Valentine's Day cards to negotiate seriously, those casual fans will move on to something else.
Deal. I'm actually so tired of this petty ish from the players. LMAO. I just know Natasha Cloud's cornball ass thought of this. Think of that. Think of how many eyeballs this passed before getting posted. Hey, Aneka Ogumike, I got a great idea. Look at this. Oh, that's genius. Put it out. Hey, Brianna Turner, I got a great idea. Look at this. Why didn't I think of that? Put it out. That'll really show the owners we mean business. Hey, Brianna Stewart, Fee, come over here. Check this out. Oh my God. They're definitely going to give us a great proposal now. Really? Really? Let it burn. These, don't deserve nothing. Woo! The Players Association is ruining everything.
Let's address the elephant in the room. Yes, WNBA players deserve fair compensation. Nobody's arguing they should work for free. But fair compensation has to be based on revenue generation, not feelings. The NBA pays its players 50% of basketball-related income because the NBA generates $10 billion in annual revenue. The WNBA generates roughly $200 million in revenue and loses $50 million after expenses. Those are fundamentally different financial realities. The Players Association keeps using NBA comparisons as if they're negotiating from equivalent positions. They're not. NBA players have leverage because the league is wildly profitable. WNBA players are negotiating with owners who have subsidized their salaries for 27 years. That doesn't mean players don't deserve raises. It means the negotiation has to acknowledge economic reality instead of pretending the WNBA operates in the same financial universe as the NBA. And here's the thing about leverage in negotiations. You only have it if the other side needs you more than you need them. Right now, with Caitlin Clark driving unprecedented interest, the owners actually have a strong product to sell. But if this negotiation drags on, and the season gets delayed, that momentum evaporates. The casual fans disappear, the media coverage dries up, and suddenly, the owners are back to running a league that loses $50 million a year with no growth prospects. In that scenario, folding the league starts looking like a reasonable business decision.
Right, well. Rose from Black and White Sports, no way. No, there's a way. There is a way. I thought we were over this nonsense. This is ridiculous behavior and it needs to stop. I don't want to hear a peep until there's a signed CBA. This is embarrassing. This is pathetic. This is sad. Not sure how you can support this bunch right here. Team owners all the way. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. So subscribe to the channel. That would mean so much to me. And like the video. I'd appreciate that. See you next time. And as always,
so here's where we are. The WNBA just had its best season in history. The league has genuine mainstream momentum for the first time since its founding. Owners have put forward a proposal that significantly increases player compensation, and the Players Association's response has been Valentine's Day cards, Instagram posts, and theatrical stunts instead of serious negotiation. This isn't complicated. The union needs to present a detailed counterproposal with specific numbers. They need to explain how their demands align with the league's actual revenue. They need to negotiate like adults instead of posting cryptic social media content. Because every day this drags on, the league loses momentum. Every week without a CBA, casual fans lose interest. Every month of uncertainty makes sponsors nervous about long-term commitments. The irony is that the Players Association is sabotaging the exact moment they've been waiting for. This is the opportunity women's basketball has needed for decades. National attention, sold-out arenas, mainstream media coverage, legitimate star power, and the people negotiating on behalf of players are treating it like a joke. Terry Carmichael Jackson and the player representatives need to understand something fundamental. Billionaire team owners don't respond to Valentine's Day cards. They respond to detailed financial proposals and professional negotiation. If the union wants better terms, they need to present a serious counterproposal that acknowledges economic reality. If they want to be treated like professionals, they need to act like professionals. Because right now, they're acting like children, and children don't win negotiations against billionaires. The owners have been remarkably patient. They've absorbed decades of losses. They've funded housing, travel, medical care, and facilities. They've continued investing even when the league generated no return, and their reward for that investment is being mocked on social media by a union that won't negotiate seriously. At some point, Patience runs out. At some point, billionaires who've lost money for 30 years decide the headache isn't worth it anymore. And when that happens, the Valentine's Day cards won't seem so clever, the Instagram posts won't matter, the theatrical stunts will be forgotten, and the players will be looking for overseas contracts because the league they refuse to negotiate with seriously doesn't exist anymore. That's the stakes here. That's what the Players Association doesn't seem to understand. This isn't a game. This isn't performance art. This is a business negotiation that will determine whether the WNBA capitalizes on its biggest opportunity ever or squanders it through incompetence. So the question for fans is simple. Do you support this approach? Do you think Valentine's Day cards and Instagram posts are effective negotiation tactics? Do you believe the Players Association is representing its members well? Or do you think this entire strategy is embarrassing and counterproductive? Because from where I'm sitting, watching a union sabotage its own leverage during the league's best moment in history is painful. It's frustrating, and it's completely unnecessary. The deal is right there. The owners are negotiating in good faith. The terms are reasonable given the league's financial reality. All the Players Association has to do is act professionally and get it done. But instead, we get Valentine's Day cards. And that tells you everything you need to know about who's actually serious about growing this league and who's more interested in social media clout than substantive results. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Do you support the Players Association's tactics, or do you think they're embarrassing the league at its most critical moment? And subscribe if you want more honest analysis of what's really happening in the WNBA, because clearly somebody needs to call this out.